Hello and welcome to X Witness Awake. I'm your host, Jonathan. I hope that you are having a great day. Today we are going to take a dive into the Watchtower Library to discuss an article which says, do Jehovah's Witnesses force their children to adopt their faith? So let's see what the Watchtower has to say about this subject here. Because this is obviously directed at people who aren't Jehovah's Witnesses, because it's asking from the outside what the perspective is. So let's see what they have to say.
Do Jehovah's Witnesses force their children to adopt their faith? No, because worshiping God is a personal decision.
It's supposed to be a personal decision. Let's see.
Jehovah's Witnesses teach their children Bible principles, but when the children grow older, each one must decide for himself whether he will become one of Jehovah's Witnesses.
When the children grow older, it is pretty common for youths to get not the only one here, so for young ones to get baptized at an early age. So when they say when they get older, they might only be talking about age 8, 9, 10, something like that. It's pretty common for Jehovah's Witness children to get baptized, at least under 15. I know I was baptized at 15. I was barely just 15. But I'd say the most common one is going to be about 12 or 13. But let's carry on.
Like most parents, Jehovah's Witnesses want the best for their children. They teach their children what they think will benefit them, practical skills, as well as moral principles and religious beliefs. Jehovah's Witnesses believe that the Bible promotes the best way of life, so they try to instill its values in their children by studying the Bible with them and attending Christian meetings together. Each child, when he grows older, can then make an informed decision about whether to adopt his parents' faith.
Okay. So, they believe that the Bible promotes the best way of life. Now, the Bible does have some good things to model your life after. It's true. But not everything in the Bible. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but there are some things in the Bible that just don't make sense, that are not good examples of how people should live or act. It says that they teach their children what they think will benefit them. Practical skills, moral principles, religious beliefs. If you are part of a high control religion, then the things that you have been taught as the adult aren't necessarily going to be the best thing for you. And you are passing these down to your young children for them to make a decision that isn't going to be the best for them. Let's see here. So here's something interesting. Actually, let's go to the next one. Do Jehovah's Witnesses baptize infants?
Do Jehovah's Witnesses baptize infants? No, the Bible does not endorse infant baptism. For example, it shows that before being baptized, first-century Christians heard the message, gladly accepted it, and repented.
Now, a young child isn't even necessarily going to understand what it means to repent. So are they really ready for that sort of thing?
Thus, to be baptized, one must be old enough to comprehend what the Bible teaches, must believe it, and must have made a decision to live by those teachings. These are things that an infant cannot do.
Okay. So yes, I agree that, and this is true. They're not lying when they say that they don't baptize infants. That is known. Um, but these things that it's saying here really also apply to older children because they don't necessarily comprehend the things that the Bible teaches. The Bible is complicated. It's very long. There's a lot to it. And you have the interpretation that, the watchtower has. There's a lot going on there. And it says that they have to be old enough to comprehend what it teaches, must believe it, and must have made a decision to live by those teachings. Yes, it doesn't apply to an infant, even an older child didn't necessarily understand. So I can't see how someone that's, say, 8, 9 years old is going to really grasp those teachings and decide that, yep, that's right, and decide to live that way. Okay.
As children grow, they may in time choose to be baptized. However, to do so, they must understand the commitment they are making. Do Jehovah's Witnesses shun their children if they choose not to be baptized?
Let's see.
No. Although witness parents feel sad if a child does not share their faith, they still love their child and do not sever their relationship solely because of their child's refusal to become a witness.
This is something that may apply to some Jehovah's Witnesses. To say that all Jehovah's Witness parents are just going to be like, I'm sad, but you know what? You're still my child, and I'm still going to love you, and I'm still going to, treat you with respect and have a relationship with you. Some do, probably most, if they haven't been baptized. But there are some cases of people that don't treat their they don't treat their children that way. They actually do put them out of their life because, they feel like they're not making that decision that they want them to make, that they feel they should make. They feel like you need to serve God as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and you've decided not to, so we don't want anything to do with you. It does happen, unfortunately. Why do Jehovah's Witnesses take their children with them when preaching? Do Jehovah's Witnesses participate in holidays or other celebrations? How do those who were raised Jehovah's Witnesses feel? Let's see what this has to say. This should be interesting.
Children benefit in a practical way. Respect and self-witnesses
See if I can find it.
Celebrate certain holidays. End of footnote. For example, we do not participate in birthdays or Christmas celebrations, which have non-Christian origins.
Let's let them talk.
Nevertheless, we enjoy spending time with family and giving generously to our children. Instead of letting the calendar govern family reunions and gift giving, we organize gatherings and give presents throughout the year.
That's baloney. Because I can tell you what, I definitely didn't get a lot of presents when I was a kid. I'm not saying I didn't ever get any, but, kids got stuff at holidays and I hardly got anything. So, yeah, giving throughout the year, nah.
How do those who were raised as Jehovah's Witnesses feel?
Preaching taught me to respect others, no matter what they believe or how they treat me. Also, when we preach, people often open up about their concerns and problems. So instead of just focusing on myself, I learned to care about others' feelings and to be observant of what others may need.
That's an interesting comment. Preaching taught me to respect others no matter what they believe or how they treat me. So obviously if someone is not receptive at the door and you're not getting anywhere with them, you're not going to continue to talk to them as Jehovah's Witness. You might try and, come back with magazines now and again just so you can count your time. But you're probably going to just, knock the dust off and go to the next place. And you're not going to become friends with this person because they have different beliefs than you. They want you to reach out to people at the door and in informal settings, no matter who they are, unless they're apostates, but that's a different thing. But if you're not going to get anywhere with them, you're not going to continue to talk to them because they're not Jehovah's Witnesses, because it is in us versus them mentality that you've been taught. And if you're not going to become one of Jehovah's Witnesses eventually, then what use do they have for you? So do they really respect you no matter what you believe? Makes you wonder.
My parents didn't force me to become a witness. They always told me that I had a choice. Every time I asked Mom a question about witness beliefs, she would respond, "Have you researched that?" So I did a lot of research, and eventually I felt convinced that this was the religion for me, not just my parents' religion. Ellie.
That's interesting. Never felt that her parents, my parents didn't force me to become a witness, she said. They always told me that I had a choice. That doesn't really fit with the part that Tony Morris had, where he said basically, you want to drive a car, but you can't choose to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't know. So he was essentially asking parents to blackmail their children into becoming Jehovah's Witnesses. Now that's, when it says not forcing, I guess, it's not like they had a shotgun pointed at the kids and, get in that pool. You're not forcing them that way, but you are coercing them. You are manipulating them into getting into getting baptized in this instance. That's not really right. And she said she was told to do research, but where was that research from? Was it from independent sources, or was it from the Watchtower Library, where everything is going to be saying this is the way to do it?
I never felt that I was missing out by not celebrating holidays. My weekends were always full of plans with other witnesses. We would eat, dance, and play games. My school friends often said I had a busier social life than they did. Melissa.
I don't know who this Melissa person is, but busier social life than the kids at school? Yeah, I seriously doubt that. As far as the weekends being full of plans as a witness, the plans are what? The meetings and studying and going out in field service. Those are probably your plans, really. While eating and dancing and playing games is not something that you're not allowed to do. If you were to do that all the time, so much that the school kids are thinking, man, you're just such a social butterfly, then they're probably going to give you a talking to that you're spending too much time on social activities and on recreation than you are on spiritual things. So this Melissa was not real strong, I guess.
Even though I understood why we didn't celebrate Christmas, at times I felt that I was missing out. What helped me to combat those feelings was that my parents regularly invited my friends and our extended family to our house. I also remember them giving me gifts. Miguel.
Okay. So, Miguel, let's see. Miguel sometimes felt that he was missing out. That's pretty common with Jehovah's Witness kids, to feel like you're missing out because you're set aside. You're supposed to be separate from the world, and that also makes you kind of an oddball in society, in your school, maybe at your job. If you're a teenager and you have a job, you kind of come across as the weirdo. He's saying that what helped him to combat those feelings was that his parents regularly invite friends and extended family to our house. Extended family. So I guess he had a bunch of people in the truth, but because extended family, if it was people who are not Jehovah's Witnesses, that's really frowned upon, because they may be family, but they're not your brothers and sisters. So you basically, they're an opportunity to witness to them, to preach to them. But past that, you're not really supposed to have that much to do with them. So I guess he had a lot of people in the organization as family. I also remember them giving me gifts. I guess that's the way to get past the whole, I don't get anything at Christmas. Okay. So, back to me. So I wanted to go over some of the things that they use to inculcate these views, Bible teach, the principles of Jehovah's Witnesses on the young ones. So, back in my day, it's over here. My book of Bible stories was the thing, full of, pretty horrible stories. But let's let old Tony Morris introduce it for us. And there he is. So what do you got to say, Tony?
Some of the greatest joys we experience in life are as a result of a happy family life. But living in these hectic last days, achieving such happiness is very difficult. The governing body deeply appreciates you hardworking parents and all that you're doing to try to help your children find a rich, satisfying life. As a parent, I remember the challenge we faced trying to develop love for Jehovah in the hearts of our two little boys. We used the tools available, the Bible, Watchtower articles, and then in 1978, how thrilled we were to receive my book of Bible stories.
Horror stories.
Godsend this proved to be. Over the years...
No, actually, it's pretty gross. It's full of a lot of inappropriate subjects for little kids. There's a lot of people who will tell you that they were pretty shooken up by some of the things that are in there that just don't sit right, to be given to little kids. But anyway, carry on, Tony.
The governing body has provided many additional teaching aids to help our young ones, and we have no intention of stopping there. It is a fact that
you can stop now, Tony.
Animated videos capture the interest of little ones and can be a powerful teaching tool.
Or a powerful manipulation tool. Indoctrination tool. But they know that. Carry on.
Hence, it's my privilege on behalf of the governing body to introduce to you a new animated video series entitled Become Jehovah's Friend. This is just a preview of what we have in store for you in the future. Children can learn so much during their formative years. The lessons they learn at a very young age can make an impression that lasts a lifetime. It is our prayer that this new series will help your children to learn to make God's heart rejoice. We love you very much, but our love for you is just a reflection of Jehovah's great love for you and your little ones. May they learn, develop, and grow to become Jehovah's friend.
Because that's how we bolster our numbers, by getting you to baptize your kids. Because there's not too many people coming from the actual door-to-door work, to be honest. They put in a ridiculous amount of time. And what do they have to show for it? Not that many people. If you divide up the number of hours by the people, it takes thousands and thousands and thousands of hours just to get one person to join. So what's the easiest way to do to get your numbers up is to get the kids baptized. Thanks, Tony. That was, I believe, recorded in 2013. Obviously, there's been quite a bit since then. It's been 9 years since they did that. But let's take a look at some of the lovely videos they got going here. I have this thing all out of whack. Sorry, I need to fix this. Bear with me here. Whoops. Technical difficulties. Okay. Get to see behind the curtain here. Okay, there we go. That's better. Let's see what we got here in lesson 5. Let's go in service.
Sophia, are you ready to go out in service? What's in your bag? Looks like you're missing something.
You're not prepared,
What
kid.
do you need for service? Very good. You need your Bible for service. Do you need anything else? Kids, can you help Sophia? Which one does
Now, why does this feel like culty Dora the Explorer or culty Blue's Clues? Ugh. Just gives me a creepy feeling. I don't know. Is it just me? Let me know in the comments if you're creeped out by these little videos.
she need for service? Magazines! That's right, kids.
Propaganda.
Sophia, one more thing. How will you remember the people we meet? Very good. Do you have a pencil? Excellent, Sophia. I think you're all set. Kids,
We'll get to see what happens to that
ready?
pencil.
Okay, let's go practice what you're gonna say.
That was kind of weird. I didn't like it. Now, if you're a little kid who's been watching these videos, I mean, you're going to be like, yay, that's cool. But looking back, you might be, that just gives me a weird feeling. Let's go to the next one. Okay, what do we got here?
Who is that? Does she go to our school?
It's a new kid. They always portray the worldly kids as just horrible little snots. But anyway, carrying on.
Good morning, everyone. We have a new classmate. Her name is Priya from India.
She's from where?
I don't know. I've never heard of it. Okay, so let's...
This teacher is not doing her job if these kids have no idea what is India or where is India. Come on.
work in pairs again. Who needs a partner and can team up with Priya?
Hey, Sophia. We're a team, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, great. So, for the first page, I'm thinking we can do this and then that. It's just taken.
Okay, so I guess you're saying the worldly kids are going to be just mean to this new person. Yeah, that does happen sometimes, but not all worldly kids are bad. And that's the way they're really portraying them as either, obnoxious weirdos or bullies. Anyway, carrying on.
So, what did Jesus teach us to do? To be a real neighbor like the Samaritan.
To be a real neighbor like the Samaritan. Samaritans were considered apostates from the nation of Israel. So, Anyway, carrying on.
Sophia.
He taught us to show love and kindness when somebody needs help.
But what if somebody is a brother or sister and then they're not? Would you show kindness and love to them at that point?
Priya! Over here! Hi, I'm Sophia.
Hello.
I like your outfit.
Where'd you get it? My mom made it. It's from my country. They call it a salvar kameez. This one is my favorite color.
What's it like where you live?
Okay, so why is Sophia being nice to this kid? If you're taught to be nice and loving and kind to other people, that's good. I hope that's something that the kids are really being taught. But if you're taught to do this because they are your special territory when you're at school, the school is considered your special territory that the adults can't get at, but you can. You can preach to the other kids. So is she just being kind because it's an opportunity to try and play some literature with this girl? Is it just to try and start a study? Is it just so that you can make a disciple? Or are you just being kind because it's the right thing to do? When you're taught a certain thing, it's hard to know what the motivations really are. Okay, let's try another. Ooh, this looks controversial. One man and one woman. Let's check it out. Notice how she got kind of a weird feeling seeing that picture. Why does she get a weird feeling? I wonder what she's been taught. Let's carry on.
Look, Mom. I drew our family in school today.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have time to finish Caleb's face. Carrie drew two mommies. She told me they're married to each other. My teacher says that all that matters is that people love each other and that they're happy.
Well,
The mom got a oh crap look on her face. She's going to have to explain, that gay people are a thing. If people are a certain way, let them be a certain way. Don't interfere. Don't try and change who people are. Anyway.
Well, people have their own ideas about what is right and wrong. But what matters is how Jehovah feels. He wants us to be happy, and he knows how we can be happiest. That's why he invented marriage the way he did.
You mean one man and one woman?
Exactly. Look at Genesis 1:27. Jehovah created Adam and Eve, male and female. Then in Genesis 2:24, he said that a man will stick to his wife. Later, Jesus said the same thing. Jehovah's standards haven't changed. It's kind of like going on an airplane. What would happen if someone wanted to bring something on the plane that wasn't allowed?
They couldn't go on their trip.
Right. It's the same with Jehovah. He wants us to be his friend and live in.
Okay, here's something important to think about. I'm just going to run it back here. Let's look at that one more time, this illustration of the plane.
What would happen if someone wanted to bring something on the plane that wasn't allowed?
They couldn't go on their trip.
Right.
So, a bag on a plane is one thing, but how do you leave something that is part of you behind? That's like, sir, I need you to leave your leg. You don't expect me to saw off my leg, do you? Here's a saw. We need you to saw off your leg, sir. You're not going to do that. That's what I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You can't expect people to change who they are.
It's the same with Jehovah. He wants us to be his friend and live in paradise forever. But we have to follow his standards to get there. At Matthew 7:13 and 14, it talks about the road leading to paradise. To get there, Jehovah says we have to leave some things behind. That means anything Jehovah doesn't approve of.
But I want everyone to get to paradise.
So does Jehovah. And you know what? People can change. That's why we share his message. So, what can you say to Carrie?
Well, I could tell her about the paradise. I could tell her about the animals and the resurrection.
That's awesome. Let's practice.
Okay. So, yes, people can change in certain respects. It's true. But certain aspects of who they are crucial to their personality and to their being. So trying to preach to someone to change themselves so fundamentally is just not going to work. Okay, I got one more. Oh, no, that's the one I had before. Okay, never mind. I guess that was it. All right. Okay, so so do Jehovah's Witnesses force their children to adopt their faith? They said no, but there should be an asterisk there, because if you don't make the decision to adopt the faith of your parents as a child, there's going to be repercussions, and they're not going to be good ones, because your relationship is not going to be strong with your family. And if you happen to get baptized and you change your mind, or you do something that breaks the rules, well, you're going to really have a bad relationship with your family at that point. Probably not even have a relationship at all. So, do they force them to adopt their faith? In a roundabout sort of way, yes. Because the kids don't want to lose their family and friends. Just like the adults don't want to lose their family and friends. So, anyway, that is all that I had to say on this subject today. I hope you've enjoyed this little dive into Jehovah's Witnesses and teaching their kids. and the means that they do it. And I will now go to bed because I have to work in the morning. So I hope that you have a great day, and I will catch you later. Oh, before I forget, please like and subscribe and share my video if you can. I'd love to hear a comment from you. Let me know what is the creepiest video that you've seen of Jehovah's Witnesses. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. If you like what I do, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It does help. It feels good to have contributions, feels like it's appreciated, and every little bit helps in the work that I do and that others do. So have yourself a great evening or day or whatever, whenever you watch this, and I will catch you later. Okay, bye now.